So this is King Kong vs. Godzilla, a movie made in 1962. It was the third movie featuring Godzilla, and is the first of two Japanese-made movies featuring King Kong. And Justin, would you believe that it is still the most commercially successful of all the Godzilla movies to date?
So, does that mean it'll be good?
Well, I really hope so. I really hope so.
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I recognize that from somewhere.
Darwin, I'm pretty sure that's Shakespeare.
Way to make me seem uncultured, Justin.
I think being considered cultured went out the window when you chose a Godzilla movie. We open our movie with an English-speaking character named Eric Carter, a reporter for the UN, who is going over the phenomenon that has been occurring in the world lately. And I gotta admit, I was pleasantly surprised to see this.
I know. I was expecting them to do what they generally do with Godzilla movies and just take the lazy route and dub over the original.
You know, I agree. I thought it was very progressive of them to reshoot this whole movie.
Wait. Are only parts of this movie dubbed?
What happened to them being all progressive and stuff?
And reshooting for movie? We find ourselves watching four men talk about retrieving more of the berries mentioned in the previous scene.
It's here that we noticed our first major problem. Because of the live action dub used in this movie, there are many points in which they have to compensate for the actors' mouths who are clearly moving, which can lead to some wacky lines being said, such as...
It's heads. So get a monster.
Having that many of the world's leading scientists in one place seems like kind of a bad idea. I mean, what if some sort of terrible accident happens?
Oh wow, we didn't see that one coming.
Like what? Is Godzilla gonna break out of the iceberg now too? Oh, come on! Ugh.
Wait, how do these random helicopter pilots already know the name of the creature that literally just broke out of the ice? We jump ahead to the next scene where a doctor of some sort tells us that all possibilities are being considered at stopping Godzilla. Even the atom bomb is a last resort.
So, wait, do they know who Godzilla is, or do they not? Because for people who just discovered a giant lizard, they seem very prepared to deal with this.
I'm sorry, am I the only one that thinks it's kind of funny that the Japanese are considering using the atom bomb against Godzilla, who is in fact himself a metaphor for nuclear weapons?
And now we get to see Godzilla doing what Godzilla does best.
One of the reporters tells us how evacuation ships are being prepared.
Now, I don't know about you, but if I saw a giant creature rise up out of the ocean, the last place I would want to be is on a ship. We now head to Faroe Island, the home of the special berries that we had almost forgotten about, the natives, and their god.
I have to apologize on behalf of this movie and its, shall we say, choices. Moving on, we arrive on the island and the natives immediately escort them to the village. So our goodwill mission doesn't seem to be going so well, since the natives clearly do not like the visitors.
So they try various methods of winning over the chief.
First, they try music.
Wow, that music just seems so out of place.
While they're trying to enjoy the music, they try and seal the deal with the smoke.
Oh, that is just not cool.
They now have permission to stay, and while they are patting themselves on the back, lightning strikes and the natives start chanting and praying, afraid of their god.
And we hear what we can only assume is their god, King Kong. In this scene, we head back to Eric Carter in the UN newsroom, where he is discussing with Dr. Johnson about how Godzilla might actually have a weakness to electricity.
Really? Because, electricity never seemed to bother him when he's walking through all those power lines.
It is also explained to us that the two individuals on King Kong's island were sent there by Tokyo Television Company and Pacific Pharmaceutical Company.
But we're not really sure why. Was it to get more berries for the doctor at the beginning of the movie? Or is it to get King Kong? Or both? Our story takes us back to Faroe Island, where our adventurers are looking for the monster on the island.
Look, my corns hurt.
Ah, you and your corn.
But you see, my corns always hurt when they're near a monster.
Wait a minute, wait. How on earth does he know that? How many monsters has he seen in his life? How can he confidently make that statement?
And why are they carrying all their luggage through the jungle? Couldn't they have left it at the camp?
It's at this point that we hear the monster again.
One of our heroes apparently got injured along the way somehow?
Corns.
I don't want to hear about your corns till we finish our job.
And what's their job exactly? While retrieving berry juice for our apparently hurt hero, a giant octopus attacks the hut, likely to take the juice for itself.
When suddenly King Kong shows up and does battle with the octopus.
So why do I feel? Why do I feel? Why do I feel like I've been kicked in the face?
Wow, she's got very Japanese.
After Kong defeats the octopus, he decides to enjoy some of the berry juice himself.
But something in the juice seems to make him sleepy.
Date rape! Date rape!
While the natives do some sort of ritual to help Kong sleep, we find out that our heroes plan on bringing him home with them.
Bring him home with them?
Bringing him home with them.
Awkward.
We once again return to the UN newsroom, where we find out some more information about our respective monsters.
We learn that King Kong and Godzilla are rivals, and are likely to try and destroy one another.
We also find out that the Japanese government has no intention of letting King Kong in, as they don't want to give him the chance to destroy Tokyo.
Wow, the government actually making a smart decision?
Too bad, it's probably going to get destroyed anyways.
We now find out that Godzilla is approaching this train full of people, so they attempt to evacuate it in a calm manner, while making sure not to panic. So, of course, what does everyone do?
Panic?
Panic.
Godzilla then proceeds to attack the train, and while he is busy doing so, we see a young lady in distress fleeing from the area.
What's wrong with her? Why can't she run straight? Like, is she drunk, or did she have a few drinks on that train?
Maybe she's hurt?
She doesn't look hurt.
In this scene, we see Kong being disturbed from his sleep.
They cut the cable that is dragging Kong's raft, and our two heroes try to blow him up. But Taco claims that it's his decision and tries to stop them.
And in a comedic fashion, ends up pushing the plunger down, only to find out that it doesn't work.
As our heroes try to shoot the dynamite packs in an attempt to blow up Kong, they hit one, and it looks as though they succeeded. However, Kong survives and rises from the depths.
I'm sorry, I wasn't going to mention the costume since it was the 60s, but that costume just looks terrible wet. We then find out that Godzilla and Kong are at the very same place where they intend to meet and do combat.
Mortal Kombat.
Finish him!
Kong then uses his intelligence and makes a hasty retreat when it becomes apparent that he cannot win.
We then see the army's plan to try and end the problem of Godzilla in the best way they know how.
Blow him up.
Yeah, but that didn't seem to work against either of them earlier.
They then revert to their second line of defense, setting up power lines.
Despite the fact that they didn't seem to do anything earlier.
We also find out that Kong gets stronger with electricity.
What? No bananas? So we now see Godzilla approaching the power lines.
There's no way that this is going to possibly work. We now see Kong approaching the electrical blockade that kept Godzilla out of Tokyo.
Surely this giant, magnificent ape, which is like us humans, could not survive that giant electrical...
Is he?
Just forget it, Jordan. Nothing makes sense anymore. So while Kong is running amok in Tokyo, he picks up a woman from the train.
So, to save her, they decide to try and put him to sleep.
Don't worry, it's all going to work out.
Taco, I hope we're right.
Ha! King Kong can't make a monkey out of us.
Oh, that was terrible.
Only I'm allowed to make jokes that bad.
They then decide to airlift Kong and attempt to bring him to Godzilla.
So that they may have a fight to the death. We see our final scene of the movie when Godzilla and Kong once again do battle.
The fight seems to be going in Godzilla's favor after Godzilla uses his atomic fire breath on Kong,
Kong finally looks to be defeated.
until lightning strikes Kong, making it a fair fight.
Kong tries to make Godzilla eat his vegetables, which Godzilla does not like.
They now try to fight with a building in between them?
Why don't they just go around the building?
After the building is destroyed, they both fall into the sea, and we see tidal waves, earthquakes, and general destruction.
Our film ends with Kong swimming home and no sign of what happened to Godzilla, leaving us to wonder if he survived to wreak havoc another day.
So what did you think of the movie, Justin?
I loved it. Questionable choices aside, it's a big, dumb, fun monster movie. Was it stupid as hell? Yes. Yes, it was. But most Godzilla movies are big and stupid. So yes, I would definitely pick this movie.
Well, till next time, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Justin.
And
that was our pick.